Let's take it to Winnipeg, because to me, this is the first. I was going to say it's the first one that's a really interesting one. We sort of agreed that Vancouver will make it, but with taking a step back. To me, Winnipeg is a bit of a coin flip. I'm going to say no. And I never thought last year they were as good as they looked. And when the playoffs rolled around, we saw that in a hurry, right? Like Colorado was just pounding those guys. And a goalie is part of your team, so you're full value for having them. But there are a lot of nights where Connor Hellebuck makes that team look better than they are. Or even if it doesn't in the moment look better, you're still coming away with 2 points because he shut the door. And when he couldn't do it in the playoffs, things came apart fast. They've got pieces there. Kyle Connor is elite and maybe the best goal scorer in the league that we don't talk about. The defense, for me, question marks. Cole Perfetti taking a step yet? Are we going to do that? What is Scheifele going to do this year? There's some guys there. There's some talent there. And again, if it's soft, if the division stays soft, then they got a shot. I'm just not sure it's going to, because I also think Utah, I'm not laying a lot of money on it, but I could see that being a team who takes the next step. They have had for quite a while, a lot of young pieces that have accumulated, built up. They had an interesting offseason when they went out and they go get Sergachev and Moreno, which at worst is a very good number 2 pair and could be on a competitive team, maybe a number 1 pair. And when you suddenly add that much depth to your defense, you already have a Logan Cooley coming up. I don't know, man. Maybe there's going to be some energy there. I'm intrigued by them, and they might, in my opinion, be ready to push Winnipeg out of that playoff spot.
Okay. Winnipeg will absolutely 100% make the playoffs.
Okay.
And
I appreciate you letting me get all that out when you were this sold on.
No, I am. And I'm like, dude's talking about Utah, and I don't know why, because Winnipeg, to me, had the ultimate, like, turn it around year. And everything, I know people are disappointed about what happened in the playoffs, and they came up against the wrong team at the wrong time. But they have some good pieces. They played really well last year. I think they got pieces in that they thought could help them in the playoffs. It just didn't help them against that team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think... I just know that
when I say, and I think I teed this up correctly, when I said for me it's a coin flip. I'm not saying, you're saying 100% in, and that's fine. I think you probably are in the majority view there. I'm not saying 100% out. I'm saying, I got questions about these guys. Yeah,
but I'm saying this is going to be one of the best teams in the West.
Okay. I don't see it, man. Like, Ehlers is good, Connor is good, Scheifele. There's not a whole lot on the defense I'm excited about, and then Connor Hellebuck.
But what you're missing is that there was.
Please tell me.
Well, it would be nice that you listen. It'll be good. There was a stain on this team for a long, long time, right? It wasn't just Dustin Byfuglien. It wasn't just Vander Kane,
Blake
Wheeler. It was Paul Maurice saying, "I can't coach these guys anymore. I can't do it." And then
he goes to Florida and wins.
I know, but then
so maybe
then you put in
problem.
No, but then you put in, another coach that is like he's a player's coach.
Yeah, but he's not here this year. He's stepped away. He's going to retire.
I know.
Okay,
but this team learned on its own. When they got rid of all the crap, they ended up being a good team. Now, they lost last year. I get it. But they're different now. They're experienced. They have one of the best goalies on the planet. And they know what happened last year when they played really well all year and they got hammered. They knew in the offseason that the players that they got at the deadline were the right fit except against Colorado. So, and probably against Edmonton.
Well, guess who's still waiting for you?
No, I know that. But probably against Colorado and Edmonton.
Dallas.
No, I think they could have really hung with Dallas.
I don't agree with that at all, but okay.
Dallas is not the same type of team that Edmonton and Colorado were.
No, that's right.
But
I think Dallas is closer to the type of team that Winnipeg is, but significantly better at it.
I wouldn't say significantly, but
Okay.
I think Winnipeg's one of the best teams in the West this year.
And for me, when I look at it, sometimes when I am expecting Winnipeg to take a step back, and it might just be the math. Again, you look at the rest of the division. Do I think St. Louis is any good? No, not really. Like, do I think Minnesota is any good? No, not really. So I expect Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg, and Utah to be sort of fighting it out. And if you do get a little pressure from the other side, adding that fifth, wild card crossover thing, we'll see. Chicago is the other team. They're not ready. They have added a bunch of interesting NHL talent. They won't be as putrid as they were last year, but they're not taking that big of a step.
No,
yet,
they did that to support their young
as they should
people
have.
through.
And they tried to last year as well, and they all got hurt somehow, which was brutal.